the human intelligence in particular requires a body component. And we have something specific to us. It's a combination of like body systems and mind systems. It's like we're kind of a system that is very specific because it was developed within the environment of Earth, through hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary processes. Now, to have that specific type of intelligence, I feel like you need a body. So all these intelligences that we're creating, they're definitely intelligences, but they're not necessarily human intelligences. That's kind of the thing that it seems to be borne out. That what we're seeing is mimicry at a very impressive level.
So I came tonight because I wanted to hear the more philosophical ideas, about should we be doing this in the first place.
And do you use it in your daily life for, let's say, recipes or
No, I have used
tasks?
it. I've used it exactly once in my day-to-day life, again for something weirdly specific. There's an American composer named Aaron Copland. He Fanfare the Common Man. You've heard it in a million movie trailers. Really big, kind of Western-sounding American music. When he started off in the 1920s, he would write very weird, atonal, like decades ahead of its time, piano work and orchestral work. My wife hates it. She keeps saying, I'm looking for a melody, Michael. There's no melody, Michael. I think it's fascinating. I sit there thinking, why did you write this? What the hell were you thinking to do this? And I have most of his recordings, but I did ask ChatGPT, can you find me a recording in mono along the lines of the Mercury recordings in the 1950s of Copland's trios, specifically for chamber orchestra, but missing, I think I said, I don't want a cello, I want a viola instead, to see what would happen. And I had 5 or 10 minutes sort of worth of gibberish saying, well, Mr. Copland did this, and he did this, and he did this, and he did this. Oh, by the way, 1, 2, 3. Finding 3 random clips in 3 different languages. I mean, I was impressed that it could, again, I'm using the term curate, that it could sort of parse my question. And the recordings were gorgeous. I can think of 500 different ways it could go bad quickly, but it didn't. In the same way, you light a fire. You warm yourself up, it's fine. If you set fire to your neighbor, it's not so...
No, for many years, I've been kind of careful about someone was talking about being nice to AI. Like, I've literally found myself like, should I say this about AI online? Because in the future, it's going to know what I said. How am I going to hide this? But, at some point, do we have to feel comfortable with the fact that it will know everything about us? I mean, especially when you put together the different data streams. So, if you're wearing VR goggles, it's going to have access to your eyeball movements, which are very useful for what your interests are, where it dilates and what, so it's going to know everything about what your preferences are, much more. If you have your Fitbit type Apple Watch, it knows what your heart rate and your pressure settings are while you're watching something or experiencing something. Most people it's going to fuck with, because it's going to know exactly what you love and what's going to keep you engaged. And I fear that some people are going to get sucked in to this realm where they're just, it's already happening. Like, I'm on Twitter or whatever, for hours at a time. Sometimes you get stuck in that. Imagine if you're in this situation where it knows everything about what you love and just keeps giving it to you, and it gets better and better at it. It's fearful to think about that. At some point, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to just jump off and say, I'm off. I'm not going to take part in this. So are we going to have like a bifurcated culture where you have some people that are online and some people that refuse to be?
I flew across the States. I did not have a phone or a book or a magazine. I just sat there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Raw dogging, yeah. There are a bunch of different meanings for that, yeah, but I found it weird that there's this cult for I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
These are
and then going online and advertising or filming themselves or having a buddy film them. That's Steve. Steve's not doing anything. I'm going to sit here for 4 hours to document the fact. Way to go, Steve. Next time he'll film me. Why? Enjoy your life, but why?
Yeah, but these are reactions, right? When something comes up in our society, there's often counter reactions to it, and these are the kind of things that are going to happen. So some people are going to unplug to get away from it, but are they going to be left behind? And it's the fear of being left behind is going to keep you from unplugging.
Yeah,
and we're all going to just get caught in this thing.
And psychologically, what does that buy into? I mean, I don't think it's harmful if you've decided my dream is to sit on a 7-hour flight and not read a book.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, but does that say something about your psychology? And if you've got 15,000 followers who think this is wonderful, is it worth looking into that attitude, into that philosophy, or just going, hey, enjoy yourself?
Well, it's like
I don't know.
meditation in some sense, right? It's
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
I think Millie was saying it's kind of bring us back to a spirituality. Maybe I mean it's these kind of things will become more valuable if we're constantly ensnared in this web. Then we're going to find more value in situations where right now we're in a room with people. There's something different about that. It operates on different frequencies.
You just mentioned spirituality, the idea that a mechanism that has been devised by a human brain, and that, let's say, it's not going to transcend it. It will be. You've created a filing cabinet that takes out what you want. It will begin to know what you want after a while, based on what you've given it. It's a very fast machine. Does that count as spirituality? If
I hope that AI will enjoy antiques, because that's what we'll be to the AI.